Earlier, protesters under the mega national movement for good governance staged a demonstration at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja, demanding accountability from former Nasir El-Rufai ahead of his scheduled appearance before the anti-graft agency on Monday. That's on February 16, 2026. Carrying placards, the protesters urged authorities to prosecute alleged financial misappropriation during his tenure in Kaduna State. They also called on EFCC to follow due process and resist any attempt to politicize the investigation. Now, to discuss this further, we are joined by a legal practitioner, Areniors Timidayefe. So, Mr. Dayefe, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. We would like to know the specific laws that could apply to the alleged interception involving Nasir El-Rufai, and what penalties might follow if it is proven in court.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for the opportunity. I would like to say first and foremost that the NSA, the appropriate office has the requisite power to charge such under the Cybercrimes Law and Cybercrimes and Related Offences Act, which is currently in force. And from the documents cited by myself on social media, sometimes this morning, I can tell you that same has been done, and they are charging under the appropriate statutory provision, which is the Cybercrimes and Related Offences Act.
So, Mr. Dayefe, how strong is the prosecution's case if it relies partly on the alleged admission that the conversation belonging to Nasir to Nuhu Ribadu? How strong is their case?
I will tell you that why the case is sub judice and one cannot really speak to the matter that is before the courts. I would tell you that if I were to be on the side of the prosecution, the case is very strong because he went on air and made an admission against his own interest. And then it borders on the question of relevance. How relevant is an admission against one's own interest? And the question, therefore, is such admissible in law? Yes, if it is relevant, it's admissible in law. If it's an admission against one's interest. And therefore, you cannot come on air and say you have done this or you happen to have come on into such information through an unlawful means, and then you are saying one cannot be held liable for it. Is he liable? Yes. Is the case of the prosecution strong? I would say yes to that.
Mr. Dayefe, if he was able to get on air and simply just claim that he had such an opportunity to hear such a phone call, could he also, at the risk of his credibility, get back on air and say that he did not receive such an interception? Would that be tenable in court? Would that make everything okay?
Well, I don't think so, because it has left the purview of whether or not he can simply retract such a statement. Because the statement borders on national security, one, and two, it borders on the office of the NSA itself. So you cannot lay an aspersion to say that the office that coordinates the cyber intelligence of the Federation has been breached, and you happen to come into such information, and then you went on air to say that you were part of such a conspiracious act or a conspiracious action, then you feel you can simply go back and retract it, then all will be well. I don't think the law stipulates that, and I don't think the law operates that way.
But then again, the law would have to prove this. If there is no proof that he indeed got such an interception, could he still be held liable?
But like I said earlier, he's gone beyond the issue of proof, because you went on air to make an admission against your own interest. And that's already admissible in law. So whether or not they would need corroborative evidence or whether corroborative evidence is needed is subject to the facts that will be adduced before the court. But what we have in focus is that he went on air and made an admission against his own interest. It's like saying to the general public that I am a thief, I have gone to do X, Y, Z in so place, and then you feel that you cannot be charged for that. That is an admission against your own interest.
Mr. Timidayefe, thank you very much for giving us your expert advice on the issues here. Thank you.